How do you evaluate whether to hold or sell a property? My favorite answer to any real estate question when it comes to holding or selling a property is really it depends. And unfortunately, that's the case because every building is different. Every basis in your building is different. Every owner structure is different. But in looking at your real estate, it really is part of the timing of your business. I don't mean by timing the market. I mean timing within your strategy. The expression that we work with around here is you make your money on the buy, and then you capitalize on your money on the sell. But if you don't need to capitalize on your money and you're good with the cash flow, then if you have a low basis, I think you just protect your basis and continue owning it. You can refinance out of that tax-free. There's benefits to continuing ownership. If the property needs to be repositioned or if the property needs to have more money put in place and you don't want to have to deal with that, sure, that's a time to think about selling it. When it's super high or you want to get out of the market and you're just done with it and you figured out that real estate is a contact sport and you're done with the contact, then yes, it is a time to sell. When you're looking at an individual property, oftentimes your strategy went into what you're going to do with that property when you bought it. So if you bought a piece of dirt and your strategy was to sell it when it was fully leased, once it's fully leased, you sell it. And odds are your money is different. Some of your money is passive and some of your money is risk. And the risk money was the development and your passive money is now that you own it. So once you build it and you add the value to it, your yield then starts dropping. And if you're not a passive investor, you're selling it and investing into the next riskier opportunity to spend your money. So it really depends on your strategy. It depends on how you bought it. If you're an individual that just bought it for cash flow and you have a great basis in it, I'm not sure that I would sell until you're done being a real estate owner. If it's something where your property needs, again, the money thrown into it, and you don't want to do it, it's time to sell. When the market is super high and you think it's going to go lower and you're on the top of the cliff looking down at potential decrease in the market and you just don't want to play with that anymore or deal with it, sell. So I think right now, as we look at March 2021, I think we're on one of those edges again. I think we're going to see most real estate require some form of capital infusion or loss of revenue that would indicate your returns are going to go down. So it's time to evaluate. It's time to figure out, unfortunately, there's no crystal ball that says this is going to last a month or 6 years, but it's one where if you're looking at potential decrease, now's the time to evaluate your portfolio. Now's the time to look at it and say, okay, what is this going to take over the next 2-3 years to maintain the lifestyle I want to with this piece of real estate? And maybe it is time to sell, or maybe it's time to bring in a partner, or maybe it's time to just batten down the hatches. So unfortunately, there's no distinct answer. It's a property by property, person by person. So that's where we come in. Not to turn this into a sales pitch, but that's where we come in and say, look, this is how we see your property over the next 5 years. And if you're good with that, great. If that's of concern to you, then let's help you figure out a way to either monetize it or get through the next 2, 3, 5 years so that you feel like you're handling it appropriately. So property by property, time by time, and really how you have your investment strategy is what's going to come into play. But either way, now is a great time to take a look at your real estate and try and figure out what the next 5 years looks like.